Thank you for coming back to Polka Dot Mailbox, and if you're new, welcome. Today I am working with Polka Dot Mailbox's Deal of the Week, The Perfect Princess by Lori Whitlock. It comes with the Frames and Tags ephemera, as well as a package of the 33 die cut pieces, ephemera, and the collection kit. In the collection kit, you'll receive this 3x4 cut apart page, as well as Fairy Tale Castle, Royal Princess. So you can see this one. All these neat sayings. Little girls have a magic of their own. Princess, believe in your dreams, fairy tales come true. And this one's called A Wish Come True. The little crowns or tiaras on there. This really pretty patterned paper. Fairy garden with that purple on the back. Fairies, pixie dust, and a pretty yellow, and it's called pixie dust. A nice rainbow diagonal stripe on the back of stardust stripe. And then these cute little frogs, royal carriage with the carriages on the other side. Some unicorns, magical unicorn. I love these little mushroom houses. They're not mushrooms, but they're flowers actually. They are super cute, little fairy houses. And that's really pretty paper on the back as well. Fairy Village, I like that. Some of these 4x6 journaling cards. It's a cute one. Oh, I really like that polka dot one on the back. Once upon a time in a land far away. Got the border strips and a really nice polka dot on the back as well. And then the wonderful element stickers in the 12x12 set. Laugh often, love much, dream big. The fairies made me do it. You are a princess. Dream big, laugh often, twirl and dance, smile, believe in fairy tales. So this is a really cute little collection available this week at polkadotmailbox.com. Today I am creating some more cards. If you watched a previous recent tutorial I did, rosettes, I will link that at the end of the video. This time I've used a different punch, and I'm going to show you. So this one is beautiful. I really love the intricacy, and this is the punch that I use here. I wisened up after creating one, and all these confetti left a big mess on my desk. I did it over top of a garbage can, so that was a good tip. So this is really pretty. I like to choose papers. What I do is I start with a piece of paper, and I like to choose one that has a pattern on the back that could be used either way for the rosette. I wouldn't choose something, for example, like this one that has very specific little people and stuff, but this itself would be nice. So when I did the rosette with this one, I measured 1 1/4 inch strip and cut that off the 12x12 piece of paper, and then I went in with my punch and I punched it all around, and then I scored all the way across like this. You can see the score lines there at 1/4 inch all the way through. Now with this one I used a scallop punch, and this is from Stampin' Up, and I did a 12-inch strip off of this paper here. Sorry, a 12-inch by 1 1/4 strip there, and then I came in with that punch. But instead of doing a 1/4, this time I actually followed the groove of the actual scallop, and it wasn't lined up exactly right. I'll fold this one here and I'll show you the difference. So I'm lining up the scallop, and in the end it works out okay, even though one is almost a 1/4 inch and the other one is a 1/4 inch, or it's much thicker, but it seemed to work out for me to just follow the scallop, but it gives quite a different result. You can see how much more fine, so that is, you can see how much thicker this one is, but it has like a completely different look, and it looks really pretty. I really love the way this paper turned out. Anyway, so they're both very nice, and they're very pretty. Another trick I'm going to show you, my friend just recently told me, if you have a new We Are Memory score and trim board, you can turn this piece around to provide a flat edge when you're doing your scoring, so that it doesn't move anywhere on you, so you can go and score all the way through. I always wondered why this came out. I don't read instructions. So she told me that. I'm like, oh, that's why that comes out and has that little edge. Makes more sense now. So if you didn't know, like me, now you know. So now we're going to create some cards. Before we get on to the cards, I've thought I'd just pop on to show you here the thickness difference between the different folds. So that's how it looks, and I might as well put them together. So I pre-punch some circles just with my 1-inch Stampin' Up! Punch as well, and I line up the ones so that the peak and the valley go together. So that means I have to trim off one of the pieces here, and then I'm going to put the glue on here. There we go. Do the same for this one. Isn't quite a full piece, but it'll do. So half piece there. Let those dry. Then I'm just going to fold this into itself with the pretty design on the outside. This is a good tip. So when I was doing these last time, I was making those ones that I just showed you. I didn't wait long enough for the glue to bond, and I just like did this, and then I went to flip it over. Well, the whole thing popped open and there was glue and everything all over the place. I was able to salvage it just fine, but it could have made quite a mess. And so that's one good tip, is to make sure to take a second and hold it in place before you try to flip it over to do the other side, because it needs to be in place. That's funny. There were two on that one together. So this one's okay. I don't have to wait very long, but isn't that pretty? I really like both sides of that one. I think I like this thin one better than the thick one, although they're both really quite cute. Whoop. That's the little finicky part. And you can see this one's even smaller. But I really like the patterns of these papers. I like the colors. And the circle that you choose doesn't really have that much of an impact, because I never let it stand with just the circle there anyway, unless you're sending it off to a friend for some happy mail. and you're going to let them use the rosette to decorate with, then you want it to make sure that it's a nicely coordinating piece. So that turns out great. Okay, so there's the difference between these two. So you can see how the difference in size. So this one's a little bit smaller. Do the blue, you can see a size difference just a little bit. And the thickness is quite different, but both very pretty. I really like those. They'll make nice accents for our cards. So I'm going to create 2 cards. The first one here, I'm redesigning the one piece of ephemera so that I can pop the unicorn up onto that rosette. And then I've also taken one of the 4x6 cut aparts and I've fussy cut around the vine and the flowers to create a frame for the picture. And it's as simple as that. This is a birthday unicorn card for my goddaughter who's having a unicorn themed birthday. And the second card, I am going to create a vertical layout, and here it's going to be a little frog popped up in the center of my rosette. I'm going to use that frame and pop out the ephemera piece with the enchanted. I'm going to do some stitching around this yellow and pink frame, and then I'm going to layer it all together. So I'm going to off-center the doily so that it adds a level of interest. I'm going to put the frame off to the side as well. And then I'm going to use one of my foam squares to pop up the main message and glue that in place with a glue gun. I'm going to add a rosette, and once I add these final gems, I realize that there's something just quite missing in that corner. I'm going to follow the rule of 3, and I'm going to have 3 sort of flower centers, the rosette being the main one, and I'm going to have 2 smaller ones on each of the diagonals there. So I'm going to come in with a small purple flower with a button on top, and then I'm going to put another flower over the enchanted and a button in the center of that. And then in the end, I don't show it here, but I go back and I add a piece of twine to cover up that bottom button just because a little bit of the glue is showing through. And that's the final projects. So here are the 2 cards together and all the rosettes that I created. I thank you so much for watching. If you haven't already subscribed to my channel, I'd love to have you here. And if you're interested in this deal of the week, it's at polkadotmailbox.com. Thanks so much for watching, and we'll see you again next time.